we're going to explain the attribute error. MySQLConnection object has no attribute execute exception in Python when working with MySQL databases. This error typically arises because you're trying to use the execute method on a MySQLConnection object directly, which isn't how the MySQLDB or MySQL.connector libraries work. The execute method is associated with the cursor object, not the connection itself. Let's break down how to fix this. 1. Understanding the connection and cursor. Think of a MySQL database connection like a phone line. It establishes a link to the database server. The cursor is like the phone receiver. It's the object that actually sends and receives information, SQL queries and results, over that connection. You need both: the connection to establish the link and the cursor to interact with the database. 2. Correct code structure. The proper sequence involves first creating a connection to the database using your chosen library, MySQLDB or MySQL.connector. Then you create a cursor object using the connection. Finally, you execute your SQL queries using the cursor's execute method. The results are then fetched using appropriate cursor methods like fetchOwn, fetchAll, or fetchMany. Let's illustrate with MySQL.connector, Python import. MySQL.connector, MyDB, uses MySQL.connector.connect. Host your DB host. User your user. Password your password. Database your database. MyCursor equals MyDB.cursor. The crucial step: get the cursor object MyCursor. Execute select from your table. Execute using the cursor MyResult equals MyCursor. .fetchAll. Fetch the results for X in MyResult. Print X MyDB.close. Close the connection. Remember to replace the placeholder values with your actual database credentials. The MySQLDB library follows a very similar pattern. 3. Common mistakes. The most frequent cause of this error is directly calling MyDB.execute select. MyDB is the connection object. It doesn't have an execute method. You must obtain a cursor, MyDB.cursor, and use that to execute your queries. 4. Error handling. Always include error handling in your database code. A try-except block can catch connection errors and other exceptions, preventing your program from crashing. Python try, your database connection and query code here, except MySQL.connector. Error as error, print F. Something went wrong, our error. 5. Library choice. Ensure you are using the correct library, MySQLDB or MySQL.connector, and have it installed correctly. Pip install MySQLConnector Python or pip install MySQL client for MySQLDB, depending on your preference. Consistency is key. Choose one library and stick to its specific methods. By following these steps, you'll avoid the attribute error. MySQLConnection object has no attribute execute, and create robust, error-free database interactions in your Python programs. Remember to always create a cursor object from your connection before executing SQL queries.